Practically everyone knows what it's like to feel anxious, worried, nervous, or scared. But I wondered, after my abortions, can I ever feel peace? My mom used to joke I was wound up tighter than a facelift, and we all laughed about that. We all assumed that was my personality. Then one day, the leader of my abortion support group passed out these balls to everyone. You may have seen one before. It's a way to collect and organize rubber bands. The leader asked us to think about how this ball represents our emotions after our abortion. The first thing I noticed was how hard it felt when I pressed it tight in my palm. I thought about how my heart felt so hard toward my mom. I blamed her for not making it safe to come to her when I was in trouble. And then I remembered some of the terrible things I said to my husband and how hard it was to feel loving toward him. She referred to this as a tangled ball of emotions and how it can represent the mix of tough emotions we go through when we have an abortion. She asked us to go around the room and name an emotion that we were either feeling right then, or we had felt recently, or one that was just really familiar to us when we thought about our abortion. One by one, we pulled the bands to name different emotions: guilt, sadness, loneliness, fear, and so on. We explained what was behind the feeling. For example, one woman talked about anger with her parents who wouldn't listen to her and her boyfriend. They convinced her to have an abortion and said it was better for them and their future. Someone else said how envious she was of couples in love and parents because she had never had more children of her own. We went around the room until we each had a pile of emotions now untangled from the ball. Then our leader asked us, what bands are not on the ball, not in our hand, meaning what emotions do we rarely, if ever, feel? That really made me sit back and think. One woman said, I never feel happy. Another one said, I don't know what it's like to feel calm. I added love, and others added, I don't know what it's like to feel peaceful, hopeful. And one gal said, I have no idea what it would be to be good enough. Finally, she asked us to pick up the pile of emotions in one hand and the ball in the other. And she said, every emotion is a gift from God. It's a signal of what you're thinking, and it often drives your behavior. Some emotions feel good, and others can be very painful and stressful. So often after abortion, we hide or we don't have the chance to talk about what happened to us and to help us understand our emotions so it can feel like they're all tangled up. Over time, those buried emotions can make us feel hard and numb. Some of us even start believing that there's nothing wrong with us or with what we did, and we accept living like this tangled, difficult mess. Others, like me, like you on the journey, are doing the hard work of untangling our emotions so that we can figure out what we really need. And here's the good news. You can change the way you feel if you get clear about what you need and go after that. And that's different than trying to stop feeling what you already feel. Our leader went around the room and asked each one of us, when you think about this ball of emotions, these untangled emotions now, what is it that you really need? One said she needed to talk to her parents about how they hurt her. Another said she needed to keep coming back to the group for support. I said what I really need is to rest. I was so exhausted from living like this tight ball of emotion, working like a machine and a maniac to prove I was good enough to overcome my shame after 3 abortions. Now, what about you? You probably don't have a ball of rubber bands, but you have some paper or a note app. I challenge you to take a few minutes when this video is over and list the emotions all tangled up inside you since your abortion. Are you feeling hopeless and need to gain some hope back? Are you feeling disconnected and you desperately want to reconnect with your husband or your daughter? Who's feeling defeated or stuck? You need a fresh start so you can finally start using the gifts and talents God gave you, but you haven't felt worthy enough to try. I asked at the beginning of this video, can I ever have peace after my abortion? I promise you the answer is yes. You took a big step by watching this video. Take the next step to unravel those difficult emotions. But you're not going to be able to do that on your own. So here's what you need. Ask God to help you. He's the one who's with you on the journey to your good life, and He will give you everything you need to finally find peace, even after abortion. Now, I'm not saying that one prayer will cause everything to fall into place. It might, but chances are it probably won't. It didn't for me. But what did happen is I recognized that feeling helpless to change things without God wasn't a bad thing. Sometimes feeling helpless is a gift God gives us so we can finally reach out to the one who will change our lives. But I know that sometimes guilt can get in your way and pull you back into feeling worthless and helpless. So if that's you, here's a video that will help. Until next time, I'm your mentor, Jane.